Hey everybody. So I am going to be doing a review of my favourite film from last year, Whiplash. Now this film is a great character development film. This film is just, the characters in it is kind of like very well thought out, very cleverly written. The storyline is just phenomenal. The acting is to a T. It is amazing acting from Miles Teller and J.K. Simmons. He's just playing the drums. It's his passion. It's a passion. Start off with, it's a passion. And as you go through, it becomes more of an obsession. And J.K. Simmons' character is, at start, the first scene we see him in, he is intimidating. He just walks in and commands the place. And so, when he walks into Andrew's class and handpicks him, Andrew's confidence starts to boost. His ego gets bigger. He gets confident enough to ask out a girl he likes behind the stand of the cinema, and his ego rises. And then we get into a scene in which he first goes on the drums and they're playing Whiplash. Now, it's a song. They play the song Whiplash in rehearsals, and they're playing it. And he hears probably that the tempo is not quite his tempo. He's not perfect. So what he did was basically, he stopped everyone. Whoa. New kid here. Try it again. And then he doesn't change anything. It's the same. I don't know. I'm not a drumming teacher or a musician teacher, so I have no idea what's good and what's bad. And then it's kind of like rushing it a little bit. He's obviously nervous, he's scared, and then from out of nowhere, J.K. Simmons' character just throws the chair at him. He ducks, and then he goes, "What if he can throw a chair at you?" And then he's like, "I have no idea." He's just confused here. And then this is where he starts to get more commanding. So he's like, play again. And then he starts playing, and then he goes, "No, not quite my tempo." And he does this, and he's just trying as hard as he can not to mess up. And he's just screaming at his face. He's just shouting at him. He's just having a go at Andrew here. And Andrew is just scared. And we see, it's just like, he kind of like embarrasses him on purpose. He kind of goes, "Are you upset? Are you one of those single tear person? Are you upset?" And then he really takes control of the situation, basically, and says, "Say you're upset," and then he kind of embarrasses him by making him say that he's upset. And then you can see when he's walking off, he's got his pride between his legs, and he's just distraught. His ego has just squashed into a grate, because Terence is just an arsehole. Terence, he just shouts at everybody, he just needlessly puts everyone aside and just puts them down. And so, I'm going to skip on a little bit. So, we then get to like this live performance. The bus breaks down, so he has to go and he rents a car because he's really desperate to be in this performance. He rents a car, drives it, and then is this like, he has an argument with Fletcher's character, with Fletcher, and he says, "That's my part. No one else is having it. Only I can play that part. This is just my part." And Terence is just like, "Okay, if it's your part, where are your sticks? Where are your drumsticks?" And then he kind of like runs off. He runs off to get his drumsticks, and then he gets hit by a lorry. Beautifully shot. It's like one shot, just hit by a lorry. You see him crawling out of the car, and then you just see him kind of like blood everywhere. You just see him kind of like limp off into the studios. So he sits down and he's kind of like just like battered. He's just half dead practically. And so he's half dead and he's like on the drums and he's playing the drums, but he's not doing it well because he's injured, and so he's dropping the drumsticks, and then kind of like they cut the performance short because he's not doing good at all. Fletcher's character just goes up to it. J.K.'s character just goes up to Miles' character and goes, "You're finished." And then obviously all the crap that Fletcher inflicted on all kind of like the mental scarring he put on Miles' character. He just snaps. He just completely loses it. He tears the drum kits away and just rugby tackles him, technically, onto the ground. Music college. He leaves the college and he kind of complains and kind of makes Fletcher loses his job. So Fletcher is unemployed and Terence is no longer in the college. And he meets Fletcher at a jazz bar, which he's playing piano. And Fletcher basically says, I got kicked out after the whole incident. Kind of like water under the bridge. Don't worry about it. And this conversation is interesting because we realise he starts talking about why he's so tough on his students, why he's so kind of like, he likes to push his students and like shout at them and treat them like utter garbage. And he's like, if I don't push them, then they're not gonna make anything of themselves. They're not gonna try harder. They're just going to think, that's a good job. That's all right. I'm doing fine. It's a good job. And then just carry on being mediocre, which he could push them and make them like legendary, like the best of the best. In which he's got a point. Tough love does get you some results, but as Miles' character says, but aren't you kind of like making people run away from you? A great musician wouldn't run away from their passion. I'm paraphrasing here, but it's something on the lines of that. And he basically said, I'm doing this concert thing, this the JBC, I think it's called. And so he pretty much invites him to play the drums. He lets him play the drums, he comes on, and as soon as they're on stage, he basically says, J.K. Simmons' character basically says to Miles' character, screw you. He didn't say that personally, but he might as well have said screw you. Because he walks on and he goes, I'm not an idiot, I know it was you. And just walks on into the middle of the stage and he's like Miles got panic in his eyes. And he looks around and everyone's got different music sheets to his. So he's made him play the wrong song. And when they start playing, he's just awful. He's just, he's playing, but it's kind of just like really, it's like bad tempo and he's like out of time. And he's just doing awful. After the song, he just walks off. And then he comes on, he sees his dad. Obviously, he gives him a hug, and then he kind of just like, he can see, it's like, I'm not gonna let him beat me. I'm not gonna let Terence Fletcher beat me. So what he did is he turned around, walked back on stage, and he just picked up some drumsticks, and he just went, we're doing this on my time. Screw you, you controlling prick. We're doing this on my time. And he gets his drumsticks, and then he just starts drumming and just doing the best solo drumming that you can do on the movies. And he's just drumming, and he's like, sounds like, okay, go on my cue, and then everyone's like this playing whiplash, and he's just, it's like they're all playing whiplash, which is the whole name of the meaning of the movie, and it's like after everyone's finished playing, he carries on going. He carries on going for like a good 3-4 minutes of movie time, and he's just like whacking it out and just like drumming. And he's just like sweating everywhere. It's like you can see all the sweat going on the cymbals. You can just see him. He's not giving up. He's tired out, but he's not giving up. It's like everyone starts playing. Like everyone plays on the last beat, the last tempo. It's kind of like stop, go, boom, and then like just ends. It's like at the end of that note, blank screen roll credits. Angles, the camera angles. It's like while he's playing the drums, you don't really notice that he can't play drums, because Miles Teller cannot play the drums. I'm not saying, oh, he's really bad at playing the drums. I'm saying he can't play the drums, especially not that well. So when you just see Miles just like he looks like he's actually playing the drums. You can probably tell sometimes, the tempo is not quite on beat, and some scenes and some scenes you can just see he's just kind of like moving about. It's a brilliant, solid film. I've said this many times. Go watch it. It's over a year old, but yeah, I recommend this to anyone. Watch this film. It is a truly, truly, truly great film. Bye.